Oh, man. Happy Tuesday. You know what's crazy? This pose that I'm doing reminds me of all of those Stone Cold variation posts that John Cena posts on his Instagram. Stone Cold Star Austin.
The table. Stone Cold Star at the table.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another installment of 4TL of Wrestling. We have a lot to talk about. Most importantly, I am still in ownership of this prestigious ring because of a clean sweep, dare I say. And not just clean sweep in the sense of what you did, clean sweep in the sense of runner-ups, backups. Unbelievable. But with that being said, with a who cares how long the time limit is, it is, as appropriate, the star of the table.
And I am the flex in the world. The one that can walk away, come back, and just take over like I usually do. But before coming back, I could pop a couple people in the face. I can go over and win another championship if I wanted to. But at the end of the day, hell froze over because I am Flex Washington.
Oh, man. Ooh. How you doing? How you doing, Flex?
You know what, bro? I'm going to break the fifth wall because breaking the fourth wall is just so passe. I break fifth walls, you know. I'm past even time at this moment. I've been better. And I will just say that being here is such a joy, even when Star is Star and Star is going to star and he's going to try to push some buttons. There's no place in this world besides next to brown sugar and family that I would rather be. That's that.
Well, perfectly said. Because buttons are getting pushed today.
I was hoping you weren't going to say that.
Oh, man. Well, it could have been worse. I could have just done it and not given you a warning.
Yeah, that's happened before.
It sure has.
How's that going? How are you doing with that?
Oh, I'm great.
Okay, good.
What you expect me to say?
I mean, look, as long as you said in the last episode that you was working on it, so has there been any do you feel a relapse coming on? Because I'm hoping there's no relapse. I hope that we can stay in this good space that we in. We about to go 2 for 2 since that faded day in November. So
that long ago? Wow.
It feels like a lifetime ago, but yeah, it's yeah. So I just want to make sure that you're good. That I got the stars brightness, and that I'm not interfering in the stars gravitational pull.
Oh no, I would have kicked you off the stage already.
Let's get to the topics, please.
Shall we?
Let's do it.
You want to talk about Raw recap along with SmackDown preview? What about the Royal Rumble? Let's talk about the Royal Rumble because the star wants to hold like a little small press conference.
Oh gosh! Do you need me to leave out here? I can go.
No. You should hear this Punk. This was prepared for me, So I got to tell you, you, well, maybe you, if this applies to you, then sure. You're here crying about WWE not mentioning Black History Month. I don't need WWE to do that. You know why?
Tell me why.
Because I don't need a company to tell me things about history, acknowledging history, as long as their Black talent is being treated equally. So let's talk about said Royal Rumble, shall we?
Okay.
Kiana James. Put some respect on her name. 27 minutes and 30 seconds in the Rumble. Now, she was out with a significant knee injury, isn't that correct?
Yes, she was.
And I believe she was already hurt by the time we had the releases of like Dakota Kai and other people, correct?
That is true.
But somehow people are like, how is she still here? But WWE, they believed in her. They saw something in her. And she's been back. As a consultant, wrestles a little bit. But the funny thing is, out of both Rumbles, I think she's the only superstar who's been on television weekly, but it felt like she really debuted at the Rumble. I was very, very proud of her. Lash Legend. Oh, man, I am so happy for her, too. You know why? Because I got scared. I got scared when they put her with Nia Jax. Because Nia is 1A in that tag team. The same way, if you want to call them a tag team, Julia is 1A when it comes to Kiana James. Also, she's a champion. But if you remember, Lash Legend was in the last two at the Battle Royal at Evolution 2.
Mm-hmm.
So this should not come as a surprise. It's just what happens next. And if I'm being optimistic start today, I'm going to look at just those two individuals and say they are number twos. And eventually, the goal probably is for them to be single stars, correct?
You would hope so.
You would hope so. And if that's the case, you got to build them up. Because if you don't, and they just start feuding with Nia and Julia, nobody's going to care. See, this is not a Otis Chad Gable situation. People been love Otis. He's a fan favorite. They love him. He's a lovable character, all that. Kiana James, Lash Legend, they don't have that stock yet. We might feel different. But if there's one thing that you are aware of, is that the majority at WWE tend to not reflect the viewpoints of for the love of wrestling.
Agreed.
So with that being said, eventually when they break out, people will care. Why? Because they're going to remember this Rumble. And I hope that there is momentum that carries them on further. That is the side story that I really wanted to talk about, because these were not the two people who I thought I'd be talking about after the Rumble. I'm not even talking about the winner yet. Oh, statistics, star stats. Lash Legend entered the Rumble when Nia was eliminated. Very important, because they didn't seem like a tag team. They didn't even have an opportunity to function as a tag team. She eliminated Jordynne Grace, the same Jordynne Grace that's feuding with Jade Cargill, the women's WWE champion. The Bella Twins. Charlotte Flair, which is always a big deal.
Yeah, of course.
Charlotte Flair, who, funny enough, entered in at number 1 and didn't really do a whole lot in the Rumble, but just lasted a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to her later. And Io Sky, which in some ways ruined my little prediction of Io and Rhea having some issues, but now I have no reason to believe that they're going to defend their tag titles at WrestleMania. Before I continue on any further, because there are a bunch of things to talk about for this Women's Royal Rumble match, what say you to what I have said thus far? Or, of course, there are 27 other participants I didn't make mention of, so go right ahead.
My take is going to be very quick. So 2 things. 1, we both thought that Bianca was going to be back. Saddened that she was not back, but I'm glad that she did not come back because of my next reason. And I want your opinion and I want your take on it. I want Star's showcase of this. Lash was getting booed when she was eliminating people.
Oh, yeah.
As she was starting to become last legend and the legend starting to show, Saudi crowd didn't really like that. Now, could be because she's a heel, you know, because she's bigger than everybody, because she's eliminating a lot of their favorites. It just seemed like people want to clamor for new stars to be made. But then when new stars get made in a Rumble, we don't like it. And not we, but they don't like it. So I just thought that was kind of weird. But you know what? I'm not going to put much more stock into it besides the fact that it was Saudi. And Saudi in itself was a weird Rumble to me because you had the LED lights that made it look like nobody was there besides the people that were in the front, which now WWE has stated, TKO also. I shouldn't have said that word, so please, I'm gonna beat myself out in post.
You need some holy water.
Yeah, shouldn't have said that. That other company that owns WWE said, yeah, we probably shouldn't do that. But guess where they're going next year for not the Rumble, not Elimination Chamber, not Backlash, not SummerSlam, not Survivor Series. Do you know where they're going for Saudi next year?
Well, WrestleMania.
Oh, gosh. WrestleMania in Saudi is only 14 months away.
Can't wait to go.
You know what? If you go to the Rumble, not Rumble, I'm sorry. If you go to Mania, I want you to be there. I want you not only to be there, I want you to be in WrestleMania. Because for you to go to Saudi Arabia, they better have a spot for the star. And that's all I'm going to say about that. WrestleMania in Saudi, they got 14 months. And here's the thing. They're going to get started on the arena probably in March of next year. By that time, they'll be a year-old star. But I'm going to leave it at that.
Fair enough. There's probably like 0.2% chance I'm going to Saudi. Yeah. For all the listeners, I am not going to Saudi Arabia. Doesn't mean never, but probably never. Yeah, no, that stadium in 20 days thing is crazy.
But accurate.
Crazy. All right. we generally don't do this, but if you had to, oh gosh, I can't believe shameless plug. If you had to put a star rating for the Women's Rumble, what would you give it?
I'll give it a solid 4 out of 5.
Mm.
The surprises were not there where I wanted to, but Brie Bella coming back and that being the biggest surprise, it's worthy because there was one Bryan Danielson that said, yeah, she'll never come back unless it's with Nikki. And sure enough, it looks like she is back and she is with Nikki. So overall, the right person won. I'm glad that Liv won. And I'm going to have a little off the cuff, off the flex, if you will. I was rooting like I was rooting like a certain person that is from New York that is waiting for the Knicks championship. I was rooting like that for Liv to beat Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton, and I kind of feel bad, but I don't feel bad. Tiffany Stratton will forever be an op, and not a Samoa Joe op, but an op in the sense of I just don't think I can ever rock with her and root for her. And if you want to know why, just look back on my episode about why Tiffany Stratton and the Stratton Knights, whatever they're called. I don't know what their fan club is called. Why Flex is not a fan of Tiffany Stratton and never will be. So thank you, Liv Morgan.
Okay, well that's your piece. Transitioning from Tiffany Stratton, I will say that Sol Ruka also had a good showing in the Rumble. I will never get tired of the Soul Snatcher, and I honestly wonder how long she can do it. Because you're not going to be doing that at 45 years old. So, as long as she could hit that move, listen, I'm a fan of it. Soul Snatcher, when all three ladies were on the apron to end it, was kind of foolish, and in some ways, I'm kind of happy that that's how she showed her inexperience. But that was silly, and that would have hurt her too. But Liv Morgan won. And I'll save this for the Raw recap. I like the pacing of it. I think that it started off kind of and it really picked up midway to the end. I really enjoyed this Rumble. I have a question for you, Flex in the World. Do you think, because again, the internet always gonna be interneting. Do you think, or did it look like Charlotte was not supposed to eliminate Alexa Bliss when that happened? Because the web is saying that only Nia was supposed to be eliminated. But no, let me be nice. You never know who you'll meet in person. Nia took hold of Alexa, and thus eating the boot from Charlotte propelled smaller human Alexa tumbling off the apron.
Well, first thing, yes, we should always watch what we say.
Yes.
But I will personally say for myself that I probably already done irrevocable damage if I ever met Nia Jax. And if she ever decides to look up my previous work, Just know that it's always in love, Naya. You know we love you, girl. But I think that it wasn't supposed to happen, and I think that it was inadvertent. Hopefully, Naya does not get the blame for it, but
Who else fault would it be?
I mean, they're going to blame her because it's easy to blame Nia Jax.
Or maybe they'll just blame LA Knight. Sorry.
You know what? That's true. LA Knight is, you know what? LA Knight gets all the blame for everything. And that's just that.
Anyway, we'll see. Any other takeaways from the Women's Rumble?
No. And I actually have a request. Can we just skip over those middle matches? Because I don't want to talk about that.
No. Listen, we are a Royal Rumble recap podcast too. We gotta. It doesn't have to be extensive. Look,
Right,
we spoke in 21 minutes. We could just say that Drew McIntyre definitively beat up Sami Zayn.
Which we picked.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it ended kind of makes me feel like Sammy might be out of the title picture. And then
it's not funny.
The career, at least in WWE, of the phenomenal AJ Styles has been chopped down to nothing. It is over. Wow, yeah, those chops were brutal. Brutal. Chop TL of wrestling is Gunther. Brutal. It's a wrap, right? See you at TNA. One thing I would like to mention is that he did not put his gloves in the middle of the ring. He teased it. So let the speculation continue. We can go to the men's rumble if you want.
No, I had to actually have something quick about that. I forgot. No, so it's not about Sami and Drew because nobody cares about that. Drew actually did something more spectacular in the men's rumble that he did in the entire match with Sami Zayn, but we'll talk about that when it gets to it. The AJ and Gunther, after old Hunter Hearst Helmsley said, yeah, he told me that he's gone. He's not doing it anymore. He's done with in-ring. If he was done with in-ring, why would he not put his boots, his gloves, and probably his elbow pad in the middle of the ring? I don't think because it was in Saudi Arabia that he was like, I just can't retire in here. Because if he's actually done with wrestling, when else would he have done that? That thing is blinding me. So get that damn thing out my face.
Yeah, see, I got shades on, so I'm good.
Oh, great. Wonderful. But yes, AJ, we'll see. We'll see if we see an AJ TNA. Total nonstop AJ. But
you don't think Triple H is telling the truth, do you?
I mean, Triple H has been known to be a very honorable man that will not go behind somebody's back and say one thing but mean something else. That's not Triple H. Triple H doesn't do that. It's not.
But aren't we in the midst of like a new era?
Yeah, we're in a new era too. But really, his is the new era because that's always what it's going to be, a new era. Triple H era here, Triple H era here. It's just, that's just what it is. It's not the new era, it's new era. Now I'll leave it at that.
Very well. This men's Royal Rumble match, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot that happened. There's a lot. And the thing is, the pacing of it was, I didn't like it as much as the women's.
Mhm.
I don't know if you feel the same way, but unlike the women's, because the Charlotte Alexa thing was just tacky, the men's beginning of the Rumble was dramatic.
Mhm.
So the ruler starts off the show. Well, starts off the match. And I'm here thinking, oh man, he's about to have 10 eliminations. But then I remembered that not only are there too many top tier names, let's just say, there's also others that could do the same type of damage. But he comes out, best way to start. You still don't know which brand he's on. Love it. Braun Breaker, number 2, comes out and gets mauled, thrown in the ring, and eliminated. Who is the masked man, Flex? Who? Who is he? Unless you think it's a woman who did it, but who is he?
I don't know. People have been speculating Logan Paul, Jake Paul. Obviously, Seth is the quote unquote easy choice to pick. I don't know if this is Paul Heyman's mind. It could be as crazy as I don't know. I don't know. So actually, I'll say this. I would not mind if it was Logan Paul.
Neither would I.
Because you predicted that he would eliminate Braun Breaker. You just thought it would be in the Rumble, not outside of the Rumble. So
Right.
you be vindicated in that way. But I would
that would be beautiful. Interesting. Just to kind of speed through the Rumble. I mean, if there's anything I don't say, by all means.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar. I know it's been talked about everywhere at this point, but Brock Lesnar being eliminated by Cody Rhodes and LA Knight during Jey Uso's entrance, whatever you say about the guy, that is disrespectful. That is nasty work. I don't get it. This is the time where a jobber is eliminated. Not I would assume your top 5 most paid superstars in the company. It made no sense. He was in the Rumble for like 5 minutes. And you know, he's one of those people who right off the jump, he's on fire, coming out hot. And then you go out like that. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And I've said a lot of things about my Usos. But shout out to Roman for smacking him in the face, running it back. That was such a beautiful. Roman's like, bro, what are you doing? So I had to mention that. We also had some surprises. We had power. Oh, pardon me. We had Royce Keys making his debut in WWE. And the thing is, he looks like a star. I just don't want him to be treated like how Bobby Lashley was treated under Triple H. I felt like they could have done a little bit more with his face-offs, especially with Bronson Reed. It just kind of just ended up being a stare down. Too many staring in the Rumble. Brock Lesnar, Obafemi, like Come on, like at some point, do something. Now it looks like maybe Ober and Brock might be the WrestleMania thing because obviously Brock ain't got nothing else going on. There was no Gunther interaction, which I really thought was gonna happen. Whatever. But in the spirit of Black History Month, Oba Javon Trick. Oh, that was. Now you got to understand, man, it's a Rumble. Not everybody is going to get an opportunity to have moments or be the guy. Trick, in my opinion, didn't have as good of a showing as Oba or Javon did.
Mhm.
But that moment, I loved it. It showed the future. And they're black. And just as the women's, I said Roman 1, Gunther 2. Gunther, after going through a physical match, the last entrant. Funny enough, they didn't even really have a face-off. They just brawled. And Roman won, as we predicted. So I have a 1A and 1B question for you. 1A, even though we predicted it, did the right man win? And B, was there any other thing in the Rumble that you were happy about, disappointed about, returns that could have happened that didn't, people that are on the roster that should have been in the Rumble but weren't? What say you, Flex?
So, first question, did the right person win? Yes. The reason why is we got vindicated, and we'll talk about it later about why the right person won in the Raw recap. Gunther winning would have been he's on his career killing mode. So unless you're going to retire CM Punk after they wrestle, don't think that would be wise to do just yet. So yes, Gunther is going. I think this will be the last time that Gunther quote unquote jobs. And I mean, in a Royal Rumble, you don't really job. You just like there has to be one winner. It's got to be somebody. So it's got to make sense for the main event of WrestleMania. So Gunther versus CM Punk does not sell tickets like CM Punk, Roman, aka Zebros, if you've seen Zootopia too. And that is the right winner in Roman Reigns, the tribal chief. Now, I had to mute myself because when you were talking about Brock Lesnar being eliminated by Cody Rhodes and LA Knight,
oh yeah,
while Jey Uso's entrance was happening, I laughed because as much as of a Teflon, non-touchable person that Brock Lesnar is, never go against the Samoan family. You, sir, will forever pay for the crimes that you've done to the Samoan family by beating Hollywood Rock in 2002 as the next big thing. The Samoan family never forgets. They are like the Starks in Game of Thrones. So you will all forever be jobbed in some type of way. It might not come the way you think it will come, but it's going to arrive in a way that you may never see it. Jey Uso yeeting, and here's the thing, real quick. The fact that he had to come through the crowd, my immediate reaction was, why?
He didn't do it last year.
He didn't do it last year, and guess what? He's way worse, he's not in shape. We've learned that this entire year that Jey Uso might not be in shape. And he has to run down a bigger arena. Okay. So yes, it's going to take him the entire time to get in there. but Brock Lesnar being eliminated, I was happy, because he eliminated Obafemi too, which once again, not really feeling that. But we'll see. We'll see if Obafemi gets his get back. I'm expecting his get back because, we'll talk about how Obafemi did on Raw. Anything that could have been a surprise. Obviously, Seth should have came back, but you know what? Let Seth just stay and just chill for right now. I will say this. Shout out to the 4TL family and Mr. Iguana and La Parka. Because though some people were like, why are these AAA people in there? They deserve it.
Why not?
Why not? You're telling me that Mr. Iguana didn't get over in what? 6-7 months? People were literally, oh my gosh, this is something new. This is something fun. And here's the thing. Mr. Iguana can wrestle.
Oh, yeah.
He can go in the ring because he's a luchador. He's a Mexican wrestler. It's in their blood. He's probably been wrestling since he was just a tyke. We have been privileged, and I never really talked to you about this, but truth be told, when we go to events, we're probably seeing in 20 years some of the future, roster. Those little kids that be fighting in the ring, they could very well be the next ones in 15, 20 years. And we're like, I remember when I seen you at the little MLA event. And now all of a sudden they're doing indies, they're in AEW, they're in, wherever. So shout out to him, shout out to La Parka because they both deserve it.
You're missing another luchador.
There's so many luchadors in there. Go ahead.
El Grande Americano?
You know what's hilarious about that?
What's up?
You know what? I will wait until the Raw recap.
Okay.
To talk about that. But yes, I forgot about OG Americano and Americano 2.0, whatever they're trying to call each other now. But yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's it. That's really all I gotta worry about. I mean, look, Roman won.
LA Knight came back.
LA Knight came back, obviously, as he should, but then he gets eliminated by is it Cody? Cody eliminated him or something like that? I think so.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Royce Keys, thank you. Thank you for saying about Royce Keys because I'm really glad that Royce Keys is in WWE. I hope they do right by him.
I hope so too.
He can literally, in my opinion, I don't know what brand he's going to be on, but I wouldn't mind seeing a Melo versus Royce Keys match. I also would not mind seeing a Dom versus Royce Keys match. Now, are they going
to say Dom?
I think Dom should be the one to drop it to him because, and it's got to be sudden. It can't just be like, oh, Dom gets away with one. No, it has to be like something stupid, like Dom. Pierce tells him you got to have a match because you haven't been defending your title, which he has not. And he doesn't tell him his opponent. I'm not telling your opponent because you'll just try to find a way to cheat anyway. And then Royce Keys hits. And I'm not going to say that he buries him or not buries him, but he just squashes him. But the showing needs to show that Royce Keys is not one to be played with. Because if he's on Raw, you have two very big black men that you can now build up. And if you want to throw in Javon Evans as a third to be taking the high flying and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah.
We have three young superstars that can do well on Raw. Because they need more black men on Raw. Let's just
leave Oba and Royce apart from each other, please.
For right now.
Yes.
Until they come to Atlanta.
Not a selfish request at all.
Not at all. Of course not. That's it. That's all I had to say.
Well, that was a Royal Rumble. Storylines begin. And they continued Monday Night Raw last night. Interesting show. Interesting beginning to the show. See, I knew you were unavailable, which is why I was just vague. I said Braun Breaker is captivating. That could mean a plethora of things. That could mean something in relation to Raw. It could mean just me thinking about his progression and where he's at today. You know that video? I believe you sent it to me. Like you are playing as a created star in 2K, but like the camera, you're actually in the ring. With Braun Breaker, and then.
Yep, I have showed you that. Yep, that is my doing. Yep,
and I told you that was like extremely frightening, probably even worse than watching like Scream or something. He's not the size of a Brock, of a Bobby, of a Braun, of a Batista, but he scares the crap out of me. When he gets mad, I think of Scott.
Who, his uncle?
Yeah. Because his uncle is really the voice. He had the physique, but Braun Breaker's angry face is frightening. His athleticism is even more frightening. His speed is it's like, where is the weakness? So he wreaked havoc to begin Raw. And honestly, bro, I love when the show starts off differently. Now, you can't be breaking tables in the first 2 minutes of Raw every week, but this is a valid crash out. My wife thought he was going to have a heart attack because the man was going insane. His veins, he was turning red. It wasn't even tan anymore. And they really are just continuing this thing that it's Adam Pearce is doing. I'm like, bro, I think it's an inside job, but hey. Crazy sequence to begin Raw. And I really wonder, now that he has not won the Rumble, and I, early prediction, do not see him winning the Chamber, I wonder if this masked man, who probably is not Austin Theory, if that ends up becoming his focus during the road to WrestleMania. What say you?
I think that Braun Breaker, and I wrote that down, literally Braun Breaker, #fast. He is like, this is why not even a year ago, this was literally last year, probably 5 months ago, I said, Braun Breaker is ready.
Yeah, and I wasn't ready to admit it.
You wasn't ready for him.
You said it.
Yeah.
You absolutely said it.
Thank you. I did. I said, look, when you go through the gauntlet of that, and he wasn't going to the gauntlet of just like, oh, I'm going against this person, like this little jobber, this jobber. No, he was going against like LA Knight, Penta, Jey Uso, CM Punk. I think he went against one other person. I can't remember who it was, but like, it was legit. So I think that it's a storyline worth telling. And I've seen online that people are saying, it's funny that ever since he speared Seth Rollins, stuff hasn't really been going right for him. And the comments was like, just think. What do you think the storyline really is? The storyline should be, you bit off more than you can chew. You flew, no pun intended, close to the sun right now. You flew way too close to the sun, Icarus. You need to, and Paul Heyman's been telling this. You guys, you gotta listen to your wife. You gotta listen to me. You gotta listen to me. And I don't know. You correct me if I'm wrong, but does Paul Heyman have a like? You know how he was the oracle for Seth, and he was the wise man for Roman, and he was the advocate for Brock, and for Punk he was what was he? Punk is his best friend. I don't know what he actually called him.
Sure.
Yeah, his best friend. Does he have a title with Braun as the leader?
He does not.
He's Paul Heyman.
He's just the Hall of Fame GOAT.
Yeah.
That's all he's been saying.
I think Paul Heyman is behind it. Some way, somehow. Paul Heyman. And it's just like jumping from person to person. I would love Paul Heyman to stay with Braun Breaker, but there's got to be at least some type of like tease of, did you know about this?
I mean, yes, because it's difficult to be in a world where Paul Heyman is genuinely caught off guard.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, at what point does it stop? Because the names that you mentioned before, Paul Heyman spent a significant amount of time with each one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes, Braun Breaker is the dog you have on a leash that keeps running away, and you're no longer able to stand your ground. You're actually being dragged by the dog.
Mm.
But wouldn't there be some sort of a pat on the back if you tamed that dog?
Mm.
Nobody else can but you. And I think that's the opportunity that Paul Heyman has. At the moment, I don't think Paul Heyman is behind it. I think what we saw on Raw last night was a new layer of Paul Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
The one who doesn't have the answers. The one who's... This might be a bad comparison, but Bill Belichick coaching college football right now.
Wow. That's a great comparison, actually, because he has no control. His girl has control.
He doesn't have control trying to figure it out, but you have a resume that says you have a resume that says you have a little bit more leeway, and we would give you a little bit more time than if you didn't, because maybe they would have fired that head coach already if it wasn't Bill.
Mm.
But because of what he's done, this value, you're willing to wait. And with Paul, I look at him the same way that you look at his track record, like he's proven results. He's given you results. He's given you championships. He's been with the best. This isn't just a matter of like, I mean, he's Phil Jackson. He had Kobe, he had Jordan. Like, you can say, oh, well, they would have won championships without him. Okay, but
they didn't.
Did they?
There you go.
You know what I mean? So Paul Heyman, he's that guy. And this is probably the first time in a while that he's up for a challenge. He's being challenged right now. He's dealing with Adam Pearce, who's not a pushover general manager. Pearce is generally hated online. I've always loved him. I actually find him to be entertaining. Every time that he says he needs a drink, I feel you, brother. I actually like that dynamic more than Heyman dealing with Nick Aldis.
Oh, yeah.
Because Nick Aldis, though he's a little bit more cutthroat, Adam Pearce gets in his feelings. And in wrestling, we love that. It's more entertaining. So, bro, I really think that this is Seth's doing, which is why it's difficult for me to believe that it was Logan who did it. If Logan did it, he's working alone. Because if you look at even outside of WWE resume for Logan Paul, why is he just a member of Division? Why is he behind Braun Breaker? We're not talking in wrestling terms. We know why. But Logan Paul's ego kind of takes a hit if you just fall in line with Braun Breaker as your leader. And of course, before the Rumble, wasn't it Logan Paul who spoke up first that Braun Breaker should be the one in the Division who we protect and just propel to victory? You don't have to do that if he's out of the Rumble before you show up in the Rumble. So I'm very curious. Braun Breaker and Logan Paul to me is a fun match anyway. But if Logan is working on his own, again, long term, I don't really know what that means, because Braun Breaker now is not going to just be second fiddle to Logan. This is not going to be like, oh, winner is leading Division, because now you've built Braun in a way that he can't just be a follower either. It's literally like having me and anyway. So you just got to figure this out. You just have to figure this out. But if it's Seth, then, because again, you can say Seth and Logan, why would they work together? So
yeah.
Anyway, that's the Braun thing. I just find it very, very interesting, and this is the best time of the year.
I just wish that Braun Breaker had a more, if it is against, let's say it is, and Logan Paul is doing it by himself, and they have a Braun versus Logan Paul thing. Braun's going to be the baby face against a Logan Paul. So now what they're saying,
you want that?
But that's what I'm saying. Do you want that, knowing that he is the reason why Seth Rollins is not in kayfabe, not wrestling right now? You got to keep him. I think you have to keep him heel until him and Seth go at it, which would then make me think that this masked person has to be somebody, that's under Seth Rollins, is like, you need to do this. Oh, no, it can't be him because he's too small. I thought, you know what? And it was going to be so weird. I'm not even going to say his name, but there's a Seth person that wrestles like Seth, but that would literally make no sense. He's in a tag team right now. So I'm going to leave that alone.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Makes no sense, but that'll be hilarious. Cause like it's just like the multiverse of Seths, because he's next.
Yeah.
Was there anything else about that? Oh, LA Knight came out. See what I'm talking about? Like what? The fact is, we talked literally about Braun Breaker, and then we're like, oh yeah, LA Knight came out. Like the fact of that, LA Knight is such an alternate, just like an oversight. He's not the main thing. It just, and it's sad because he's like stuck in purgatory, because if you give LA Knight a push, people are going to be like, what took so long? If you don't give a push, it's like, why are you waiting so long? If he gets released, it's like WWE Rumble. Yeah. If he goes somewhere else, do you really want LA Knight to be your champion? He just came from TNA before, so you wouldn't make him a TNA champion. You could,
no, but now his status has changed. It's like the Cody before he left WWE is not the same as Cody now. Like, he built his name.
But LA Knight's 40 something. Like, unless you're telling me that 40 is a new 25, 28. he probably has a good 8 to 10 years left.
He could be, if CM Punk, Mr. Out of Breath, is champ, LA Knight better shape than Punk, he can be champion in a different company.
Okay.
For sure.
It would have to be TNA because I don't see him in AEW.
Why not?
You just have. So what I'm saying is that there's too many stars that you have to build up in both WWE and AEW to be like LA Knight, you're our champion. Samoa Joe was a transitional champion for MJF. Samoa Joe, bro.
But he was champion.
He was, but it's like, oh, how the mighty had fallen. Samoa Joe is one of those people that we used to talk about and still talk about. Yo, WWE fumbled Samoa Joe.
Is
WWE
Samoa
fumbled
Joe
Shelton Benjamin.
Is he a 2-time AEW world champ?
Who? Samoa Joe?
Yeah.
I believe so, yes.
So listen, the second run was transitional, but even still, he made that time as champion entertaining. That whole stuff with him and Hangman, to me, I loved it.
Oh, he was great. And the ops and all that stuff.
So I don't know. I wouldn't use that as the reason to not have him be champ in AEW. First of all, I don't even want to talk about that. That makes me like the fact that
we don't have to talk about it. We can talk about the next match. It was Javon Evans versus El Grande.
We could talk about it.
El Grande 2.0. All right, real quick. I love the dynamic that El Grande 2.0 is such a heel, and they do not like him in the United States. But as soon as he crosses those borders, south of the border, and he is amongst Mexican people, he is treated like the initial El Grande Americano lore should be treated. I talked about this before. It's such a great thing. But now we have the dynamic of OG El Grande Americano, ultra heel. I would love to see the interaction in AAA to see how the crowd reacts. And I pray that the Mexican AAA fans do right and boo the hell out of OG Americano. But yet WWE fans, oh, they love him. He's great because guess what? Allegedly, he's Chad Gable and he's got bigger. I'm sorry. You know what would be the best thing?
What is
for
that?
Chad Gable to come out as not OG Americano, but as Chad Gable. And here's the thing, real quick, Bo. He could literally say, y'all thought that was me the entire time? Boom. He's away from OG Americano. We have now seen that Ludwig, allegedly, Ludwig Kaiser is the real Americano. And Chad Gable is now Chad Gable, thus continuing his Kurt Angle arc. We can build Chad Gable up to be in the upper mid card. No, not a mid card. Let me not say that. Chad Gable should be a main eventer. If Chad Gable has a match with anybody in division, with a CM Punk, with a Finn Balor, with anybody that is a main Carter right now, it's a 5-star classic, no doubt about it. But guess what? WWE
is not going to do that.
I rest my case.
What you're going to have is the Americanos square off at WrestleMania. And probably in a mask match. That's all I got.
You know what? The only way that I would enjoy that mask versus mask match is if the luchadors help the real OG not OG, but the real Grande Americano beat the OG Americano and say, "Hey, you're Chad Gable. It was you the entire time." They just fumble, like, bro. The fact that I literally just thought about that, and I didn't even think about that coming into this segment, but I literally just thought about how they could have got rid of the whole OG Americano thing. Yes, it was cute for the Rumble, great. But then he could have just been like, "Y'all thought that was me? That wasn't me. I don't know who that was." And then the real Americano comes in and is like, "Yeah, I'm the real Americano." Like, literally just have them walking by each other to just show that they're two different people. End of the OG Americano storyline. But no, Triple H wants to go through it. And maybe, you know what? And some perverse thing, I think Chad Gable kind of likes it. And I pray that he doesn't, but I think he kind of enjoys it.
The Americano thing, it's not even that significant for me to just be so stuck on like fantasy booking. I'm just gonna let it play out. It is what it is. The two people at one time, or Chad walking by and then Americano walking by, they kind of did stuff like that before. Before he got hurt. I know damn, was it Kathy Kelly they were including in that little backstage stuff? So, and I mean now she's on SmackDown anyway, but yeah, man, like it is what it is. They just, we'll see.
Is Javon stuck with the Americano storyline too? I don't want him to be in there. I want him to start going after the IC title, something relevant.
I think what they're doing, I think he's gonna leave that situation, but I think it's just to have him on Raw, just to have him wrestling. His stock is up, so I know that we always have a tendency to fantasy book, but he's gonna be in something interesting. I can't tell you what it is. If it's for the IC title, great. But then we also mentioned how Royce Keys should be involved with the IC title. So, but again, there's no need for, honestly, either of them to go after that immediately. So there's Elimination Chamber, and at some point we will try and get, unless whichever one comes first, but we might try and guess who the participants will be. Maybe Javon's in it, because why not? You've had RVD in the chamber. You've had Jeff Hardy in the chamber. You've had
Montez
in the chamber. So, like, yeah, some crazy things are going thang with him in the chamber. Listen, I don't want to discuss all overall.
Yeah, of course.
But I do want to fantasy book, if I may.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's talk about the Women's World Heavyweight Championship picture.
Bro, can we not?
Oh, yeah, no, we will.
No, why?
Because I think I'm going to do something that I have not done on this podcast at all.
Go ahead.
Since its inception.
Go ahead. I'm ready for it. Whatever you're saying about to be ready.
Now, I don't know if it was him specifically, but I will actually give Triple H credit for not putting the title on Raquel Rodriguez last night. The reason, if Liv won the Rumble, which we said would happen and happened, and Raquel won, why would Liv choose Raquel? Now, of course, you can say, well, who wants to face Jade? She's physically imposing. You can remove that stank look from your face. But storyline purposes, I think it makes more sense that after last night's shenanigans, because once Raquel told Liv to not interfere in her match, and Liv gave her a little response, I was like, we're going to see Liv. Raquel's not winning tonight. And I was like, interesting. This can go one of two ways in terms of intention. Liv knows that if Raquel was champion, she would have to choose between Raquel and Jade. Now, with someone with the stature of Liv,
it's not too
you
good.
want to talk about a rock in a hard place? That's one mountain and another mountain. That's not fun either way.
No.
You may think I have more of a chance to win if it's me and Stephanie one-on-one. What's going to happen is that at some point very soon, she's going to go to SmackDown. I don't think it will happen on SmackDown. I think it will happen on Raw. But either way, before this time next week, I think Liv will make a decision. And she will go after the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. But between Liv's announcement and WrestleMania, Stephanie will not be champion. She will lose it to Raquel Rodriguez. And now you have Raquel who's mad at Liv, but you already have a Liv who made her decision. Now she can't back out of it. So essentially, she's facing the same person. It's just how we got there. So that is my fantasy booking. I believe we will get Liv versus Raquel at WrestleMania. Liv thinking she's facing Stephanie. Stephanie loses the title to Raquel. And then Liv, funny enough, remains a heel.
Oh, yeah.
Raquel turns face as champion and defends it against Liv Morgan. So similar to the Batista Triple H thing when Batista won the Rumble, except the face is going to walk in as champion.
I'm not mad at it. The only thing that I'm mad at is you are relying on WWE to put the strap on Raquel either on a random Raw show
or Elimination Chamber.
But here's the thing. What makes Stephanie Vaquer say, I'll give you another shot? What's the reason? Because the initial reason was basically this heifer keeps beating me up, keeps messing with me, keeps trying to injure me. I got to take you out. So we're going to have a street fight.
That's a good question.
Go ahead.
I don't know how we get there. But we get there. I mean, it could very well just be how we thought Rhea Ripley was walking into WrestleMania as champion last year.
So she's going to complain about being in the match. she's going to use privilege to get into the match.
You're gonna, man. I don't know. To be honest with you, like, because Stephanie has no character, you don't have to overthink how Raquel gets another shot at the title.
Okay. She just gives her it.
And, you have to play it out. Raquel is going to be upset that she didn't win, and she's going to call out Liv.
Of course.
And Roxanne, but Liv came out first.
Roxanne actually helped her a little bit. Like, Liv did it. And that's why I was like, oh, imagine if Roxanne is the reason why she won the title. Now you have Roxanne being in between her old tag team partner in Raquel and her new buddy and quote unquote mentor in Liv Morgan, I think that dynamic still can happen in your fantasy booking. It just will be, it would have to culminate with her, in my opinion, turning on Raquel and costing Raquel the championship against Liv in some type of way.
I just don't want
there's no way that Liv can beat Raquel clean. It has to be shenanigans.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you.
That's the shenanigans, in my opinion.
And I really don't want this to turn into a situation where Raquel gets a rematch, and let's just say at that point, Liv still hasn't made a decision that she's still trying to prevent Raquel from becoming champion because she wants to face the easier opponent in Stephanie Vaquer. But last night showed that she does not want Raquel to be champion now.
Right.
I mean, Raquel eliminated Rhea Ripley from the Royal Rumble. Like, come on, bro. You eliminated her from the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
You cost her championship match when she told you to stay out because it would mean even more if I did it by myself. So now that's a respect thing. You don't respect her enough to do it. Because if Raquel had won, I helped you do it. You were about to lose. Whatever the excuse may be. The only way my thing works out, Liv has to be scared.
Oh, yeah.
She has to be scared. And why wouldn't you be? So how does Raquel get another shot? I don't know. But Stephanie, especially with her being a face, they tend to not say no to challenges. Fighting champion. She doesn't have to say it to be one. And what else is Stephanie going to do in the meantime? Is she going to have no matches until WrestleMania? But
I have a thought.
Okay.
So Stephanie's quote unquote not hurt anymore, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Apparently she's not hurt.
Yeah.
I had a thought of she was still hurt, but now that she's not hurt, I think that she should defend it in the chamber. I think that will probably be the easiest way to get it off of her. Just saying, hey, we need a women's chamber match, and it's not going to be Jade doing the women's chamber match. So it would have to be akin to, and you're the historian, so please remind me. The first Elimination Chamber, wasn't Triple H the original champion, and then HBK walked out as champion in that match?
That is correct.
Okay. So it'd have to be something like that. But I don't know how Raquel becomes a face after that, unless you start building her up after she's a champion as a face, but then Liv is like being a heel. But I don't know how the crowd will let Liv be a heel because
that's the problem.
Love her so much. It's like
it's the Rhea Ripley from injury.
Yeah, it's the Rhea Ripley. Like, you just can't be booed. Like, nobody's booing Liv.
If Triple H, as stated in our interview with Big Strong Mims, if Triple H can come back from a quad injury, and Triple H during that time, the heel of heels, he got cheered in Madison Square Garden.
He did.
Then if someone that dastardly can be cheered, it's going to Liv not being cheered over Raquel, bro. I don't know. And just for conversation's sake, if Raquel were to successfully defend her title against Liv at WrestleMania, is she being cheered? Or which cheer? If Raquel wins versus Win Living, who Who gets cheered more? Louder.
Liv, in my opinion.
Because sometimes their on-screen persona doesn't necessarily correspond with how the fans feel about you in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And everyone sees the improvement in Raquel Rodriguez. But is she there yet in terms of public opinion, fan favorite over Liv?
I don't think so. Not yet.
And my question for you is Raquel Rodriguez, what's the word I'm looking for? Is she lovable enough as a face that if she were to become champion, people would want her to remain champion? Because what you've seen is this company, they love the moment.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. It's the moment. It's the gotcha part. What happens after the moment, there's always a cooling off period. You would think that after that beautiful display that Io did last year at WrestleMania, oh, that run would be historic. She did nothing until Evolution 2.
Not a damn
Io.
Yeah.
They love her. She's, in my opinion, the best in the ring. And if they had nothing for her, I'm not that confident in Raquel's promo game to go out there every week and continue getting herself over. Because at some point, once the faces start going after her championship, it's kind of how you start getting exposed, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
What happens when Rhea wants her title?
Oh, I mean that's going to have to happen. Rhea versus Raquel, like it's kind of just it's like one of those things where Rhea and Liv, Rhea, Raquel, like it's just going to be bound to happen because they're friends.
I know Liv's not a face, but you would say Liv gets cheered over Raquel.
Yep.
Rhea's getting cheered over almost
anybody. Rhea got cheered over Bianca Belair, which is still crazy to me, but that's neither here nor there.
Io Sky would get cheered over Raquel Rodriguez. Becky Lynch, who's a heel, would get cheered over Raquel Rodriguez.
That's a maybe.
Okay.
That's a maybe for me.
AJ Lee would get cheered over Raquel Rodriguez. Now, you could even make the case Stephanie might be cheered over her. There's a list. Now, I don't know once you get into the Lyras and Baileys. I'm not sure. But that's the tier you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So how much longer would the fans want her to be champ? Or maybe if we're just talking about moments, maybe the moment is, I hate to say it, maybe she's just a transitional champion.
Could be.
Maybe it's just the means for the storyline. I always told you that the title is a prop. The title is the prop within a storyline. And maybe Liv wins at WrestleMania and Raquel holds it for 3 weeks? A month? I'm not sure. I know they're a little bit more spaced out in the first half of the year.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I just think that the whole win, poor Naomi, she literally was supposed to just hold this women's division and really hold it until now. Like she should be having right now a 5-6 month run where people are like, damn, Naomi, can anybody beat you? But she got pregnant. So is there anything else on Raw that I need to talk about besides the ending? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. We can talk about the ending.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You had some thoughts about it. Go ahead.
Edge of my seat. Loved it. It's just one thing that I wish they did more of last year. Face to face. And I know that not everyone can hang, not everyone can do it. But just how you use the Rumble to develop stars, even though these are two established stars, clearly they elevate each other when they have these type of moments. The one analogy that I wanted to say when we were talking about, Kiana and Lash and Trick, since you wanted to bring up basketball, I'm happy that they were not the Knicks of the past few years. You know why? Because the way that Tibbs left players on the bench, if they don't get game time, where's the experience coming from? It ain't practice. Throw them in the water. When there's 2 minutes left of garbage time, when the game is already decided, they ain't gonna do nothing, right? So when the spotlight is on, see what they got. That's how you really learn. And I always think back to Roman's struggle promos, and he had to get eaten alive on TV. And look at him. He is comfortable. He is so good with his facial expressions. I think that Roman got the nod over Punk last night. And that's not to say that Punk was underwhelming in his promo. Oh, it was good. It was the type of promo that if Roman was not ready, he'd get eaten alive.
Of course.
Because Punk is the same way that a technician will see, you start limping? All right, that's the part that I'm going to work for the entire match. That's how Punk is when it comes to promos. It happened with LA Knight. You slip up, you take too long for a rebuttal. Gotcha.
Yep.
It was so intense. And to me, part of it didn't even feel like this was their first promo face-to-face since the Rumble.
Yeah.
That level of animosity and heat, you would think this was the go-home show. And if that was the promos if those were the promos that they gave the Monday before WrestleMania, I would be fine with it. But they set a bar. And now we got to see. We're in February. 2 months of Punk and maybe a semi-full-time Roman.
You said the right word, maybe.
I don't want to jinx myself. I don't want to have false expectations. But if this is the beginning, oh man, like they don't even have to fight. They will, but they don't even have to. I choose you because I hate you. And WrestleMania is going to be one of the best days of my life because during the main event, you will acknowledge me. Bro, Zebros, Colt Cabana podcast. I am the reason why you're back.
That was one that I was like, damn.
Because that to me is 4-year title reign Roman. Because that's him remembering his position. No, I'm the one that put my family on. I'm the reason why this company's stock went up, literally in the stock market. I'm the reason we're this successful. I'm the reason why we're in all of these countries for PLEs and not just for house shows. They came to me when they wanted to bring you back. That's the biggest boss play, period. Because you would think like someone as big as Punk, no, it's a no-brainer. No, we still had to get his input, his permission. But I made The Rock acknowledge me. He didn't say that, but he could have said that too.
That's true.
You know, the same Rock that beat you for your championship that ended your streak. I would have loved to hear that.
That would have been a great rebuttal because he was talking about my streak is my reign. It's not about if it was longer, but it was about who did it better.
Yeah.
Which is a double entendre, but that's neither here nor there.
Hey.
But yeah, that would have been a good rebuttal by Roman. Keep going though.
No. I'm just looking back at all the things that were said, and even the beginning. Punk is champion.
Mm-hmm.
Roman without the championship still has the same aura as Punk with the championship. Punk without the title doesn't have it. And what I mean by that is Roman Reigns is a tribal chief.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Ulafala or not, championship or not, he is. Punk made it clear that because he's the world heavyweight champion on Monday Night Raw on Netflix, it's his show. That's the only way he could carry on, by getting in the ring and talking to Finn Balor. And Roman being offended. This is just one of those times where Roman's ego makes sense. He doesn't need it with just any other pissant. And I'm speaking as if I'm tribal chief, because his opponents, the KOs, they're not pissants. But Punk has to be champion in order to talk to Roman like that. Or else, what leg do you have to stand on? Except this thing that you did 15 years ago when you didn't have one gray hair in sight. Cinema. Flex, it's yours. Flex in the world, star of the table, it's yours.
Agreed. Roman definitely got the last word, and the person that always gets the last word is probably the one that usually wins it. No offense to CM Punk, but you know, I think that what we just seen, and this is another thing, I'm gonna give Roman credit for this too. Even as much credit you just gave him, I'm giving him even more credit. When he first came out, he was like, "Do I want to have the title that I made great?" He didn't just say that I had the title that I made great. And this is not just old rinky dink. I made a title up and it's good. No, this is the title that Bruno Sammartino, Pedro Morales.
There's levels to this.
There's levels to what I did with this title. The lineage that I had with this title, I made it great. I made you forget about certain people even had the title. Or should I go against CM Punk's music hits? I think that to give Roman credit for this is quote unquote the secondary title. We used to call this the secondary title because Roman was the primary champion.
And Roman held the secondary title too.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it doesn't matter what title Roman has. He's the primary champion. And it's crazy to say that because it's like, it's to me, it's similar to, and we were just talking about the women's, but it's like the main women's champion right now on Raw is Becky Lynch. And that's the secondary title. It's like whoever faces Becky Lynch next, and hopefully this is the run that they will be going on. As it's not Natalya. I mean, Natalia's going to go against her, but I'm talking about the main feud for WrestleMania. Which I'm going to guess is AJ Lee. That's going to be, in my opinion, more of a box office draw than the women's title, which we're guessing is going to be Raquel versus Liv.
I agree with you. What's her name? What Natty is doing is Jordan's purpose with Jade.
Yeah.
Like,
you're basically here. Like, honestly, it's just kind of, and I don't think they've really ever, touched, or if they did, it was back in when Becky was first out and Natty was.
Oh, they've wrestled.
Okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying more so like for a real meaningful program. I don't know if they've ever done it, but getting back to Roman, like he just made the World Heavyweight Championship the premier one, and now, unfortunately, Drew McIntyre is caught in the bloodline vortex because now he not only has to not go up against, but more so his two ops are now going up against each other. But now he has to go up against a little Samoan and potentially the other Samoan, the main Samoan that beat Cody. So I just think that overall it was a great program. I do think though that was the last program that you're going to see with them until Chamber.
I agree with you because I don't see why they would need to speak before Chamber.
Right. And the Finn thing can still be, and we're going to assume that Finn is going to lose because God forbid Finn wins, then it just messes the whole thing up. But at the very least, you have a secondary rivalry in the CM Punk and Finn to where Finn's probably going to be chasing this year. I don't know if he's going to. He might be like Sami Zayn, but just in more premier moments where he's going to be chasing a lot this year, but he's not going to be successful.
Maybe. I don't really have a trajectory for Finn.
Mm-hmm.
I've also been conditioned not to. Can't really blame me. I hate to say that. I hate to say that Finn is filler, just as Natty, just as Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. It just hurts because you watch the Raw in Belfast, and that's probably as best as it gets.
Yeah,
that's as good as it's gonna get. Even a full face turn will not give Finn the title.
Mm-mm.
It sucks, but it's just like what you were saying earlier, like with LA Knight. It's timing. It's timing. Like if you have Punk and Roman in a program, the title's not changing hands before WrestleMania. And, that'll be another bridge if Punk will lose or if he'll successfully retain. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah, of course.
Just to not that we haven't spoken for 3 hours before, but tonight, not necessarily that night. What I kind of want to get into as we kind of dive into the SmackDown preview, the real things that I care about, and if there's other things you want to add, obviously, I kind of just want to talk about, like, based off of what happened in the Rumble, and now it's very likely that the Rumble produced both Raw championship matches.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think SmackDown will play out when it comes to Elimination Chamber for men and women? Because that is going to be, since there's no Rumble winner, I know Liv hasn't made her decision, but since no Rumble winner will represent SmackDown or SmackDown Championship, what do you think?
I will tell you this. I think that Elimination Chamber. I said that the Raw Elimination Chamber is going to be for the title, so I think that that's going to be the women's Elimination Chamber. The men's Elimination Chamber is going to be for the right to face Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania.
So then what happens with Jade?
About to tell you. So Jade, unfortunately, will have to go up against. I don't want to say this.
Oh no, I disagree.
She has to, bro.
I disagree.
She has to go up against her. The reason why is because this woman is in the WrestleMania commercial. They need to have another match. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see it. But here is the thing. Jade is the heel.
Don't say it.
Tiffany is the face.
It's not going to happen.
But, and this is my wishing, but Jade is got to build a baddies faction. And that starts with B-Fab.
Come on.
She has to build a baddies faction. I don't think she needed to win. But it's just simply to say, you'll never be on this level with me.
No.
Jade is an ultimate monster heel. However, it's like sometimes monster heels, they just need a little reassurance. Like you talked about before, Triple H, and I'll end it with this because I know you got some things to say. Triple H is a monster heel. Now, he wasn't a domineering heel, but he was very, very, very hated. He can win matches on his own. He's the cerebral assassin. He's the game. He's the king of kings, blah, 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 blah. But you need that Ric Flair. You need that Randy Orton. You need that Batista to just say, you know what? Y'all got to make sure that I'm good. Because when the eventual real face comes back in Bianca Belair, it can be a case of, I don't even know you anymore. This isn't the person I tagged with. This is a whole nother person. Jay can just tell her, I'm on a whole nother level. You've been out for a year and some change. Time has passed you by, sis. There ain't no more Naomi. The big three ain't no big three. It's the big me. It's always been the big me.
Well played.
Boom. There you go.
Sir, why are you doing this to yourself?
I have to, because that last part right there, that I can withstand that if that is the end goal of what I will see.
Okay. All right. Sometimes I gotta reel you back because you told me what 60 and 40% of your mind comes from. So
yes, of course.
I gotta reel you back. It's not this, it's this.
Next time I'm gonna have like a little thing that like just all you hear is it's just me. Oops, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna do that.
Oh, okay.
Just at random times. Go ahead though.
We're talking about WrestleMania. Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill will not happen at WrestleMania. Okay. I actually wouldn't be surprised if we just don't see that again. I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised. What you are going to see at Elimination Chamber is not a match that is for a championship. No, it is going to be for the right to face Jade Cargill. The winner of that match will be Charlotte Flair. You will get Charlotte versus Jade at WrestleMania. Jade will defeat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. You will get Jade and Bianca Belair at SummerSlam.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
What happens to Alexa Bliss?
Alexa Bliss is past her prime.
Damn.
Alexa Bliss can find something to do. This is not coming from a place of hate.
Mm-hmm.
I like me some Alexa Bliss. But in today's climate, Alexa Bliss ain't it for me.
Can I ask you a second question?
Yes.
What happens to Tiffany Stratton?
There, I have an answer.
Go ahead.
Tiffany Stratton at Wrestlemania is crowned Women's United States Champion. And Tiffany Stratton becomes the one who elevates the championship. Because just as the same as Becky Lynch, you have a world champion who has now won a mid-card title. That is your match. And you have had Tiffany and Julia have run-ins when Tiffany was still champion. So this is not just some far off, can't believe that this is going to happen. I actually won't even be surprised if the last two people in the chamber are Tiffany and Charlotte, who, funny enough, they did have a face-off at the Rumble that I forgot to mention, probably because I didn't care 5 minutes later. So I wouldn't be surprised. Just so Charlotte beats Tiffany. Now Tiffany's out of the world title picture, which you should be happy about, because what you should have prefaced is, I know you're not gonna like this, but what you also should have said, I ain't gonna like it either. So I am the star. I am the one who is trying to make your life better. And yes, I love me some Julia, and I am a Christian man, so I'm not gonna say anything further than that. But I know what company she works in. WWE. Tiffany Stratton, United States champion. Not a bad idea. Just because you like Julia and I like Julia, what is she really doing with the title? They keep saying, I don't know if you watched Unreal, but oh man, poor Road Dogg Jesse James. They were like, okay, well, this is how we see Chelsea Green. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you take it off of her, all right, Julia has it. Who does Julia have to wrestle against? It's the same cycle. It's the Michin, the BFAB, the Chelsea Green, the Zelina Vega.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I don't know if what happened at the Rumble is enough to have Julia Kiana James. Because Kiana, you can continue building her up, and she's mad young. But you can't have a star like Tiffany Stratton doing nothing. It's either she's going to somehow find some big time rivalry, which probably is not going to happen with the current roster, or she goes for the US title. I think it makes sense. That's what happens.
You know why I don't like yours? Is because at the end of the day, Tiffany wins. At least in mine, she's losing on the biggest stage. I don't mind her being the best loser, because at the end of the day, she is a loser. She lost the Royal Rumble. She was going to lose that Elimination Chamber. Well, I guess if she wins, she would win Elimination Chamber in my book, but she would win Elimination Chamber in Chicago, let those fans cheer for her. But then on the grandest stage of them all, with her little Tiffy time and her entrance, and it's all great, grand, and wonderful, a storm is going to take and make sure that woman is washed away forever. We don't have to see her again until potentially Tiffany and Bianca. You know what? It's kind of inevitable. I won't like Tiffany, but she's here to stay. So I have to just watch and see.
She works for the most
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
The three most dangerous letters in all of sports entertainment. As long as that is a fact, she will be a big deal. You don't have to like her.
I don't. I won't.
You know what? I actually just recently followed her on Instagram.
Why would you? See, you know what? All right. So we had another great episode of the 4TL Wrestling. Real quick. So we didn't talk about the men's
The
in
men's.
SmackDown.
The men's situation is a disaster. So go stab at it first.
Yeah, real quick. So the men's SmackDown, I think that at the end of the day, Drew is keeping that title. I don't think he loses it at WrestleMania. I don't care who he faces, if it's in a fatal four-way with Sammy and Jacob Fatu and
2v1?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that the next time Drew is going to lose his title, it would either be like a last option, Sammy, if you do not beat me, it's got to be something on the line. Like, Sammy, not retirement, but like, you can't wrestle for this ever again. And not just while I'm champion. I'm talking about ever. You got to put that on the line or something. It's got to be something like that. Or Jacob Fatu literally becomes the star that he is and the star that he will be. And that he just runs over everybody, being very much a blood, and he just gets over again, and he is crowned champion at SummerSlam. I think that's only two ways that he can win, that somebody's going to take the title off of Drew. I don't see anybody else doing it. I don't think Trick is ready yet, even though I think that he is, but WWE does not. I think Trick would be, in my opinion, and I'll end it with this, Trick would be the great person to take it off of Sammy winning it. It's like a, yay, Sammy's champion. Oh, wait. Trick is, I'm going to say it right here, right now, because Trick is Mr. Money in the Bank. That's my choice. I don't care that Money in the Bank is before or after SummerSlam. Trick is Mr. Money in the Bank, and he has to cash in on Sami Zayn for it to mean something. And that's going to be the best cash in, probably next to Naomi. But Naomi's going to be better because we've seen it live.
See, what makes things a little bit easier is that we already had Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
I think the SmackDown situation is a little, just a little foggy. This is difficult. I have a feeling that Drew will defend in a multi-man match. There's a part of me that feels like it is a fatal four-way instead of a triple threat. If you want to simplify it, Drew, Cody, Jacob, WrestleMania. But does any one of them have to win Elimination Chamber? So I would say that would be the only way that you would get the fourth person.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, Cody cuttered Randy at the Rumble. Randy not being in this, like, at this point, like, bruh, what you gonna do with him? He keeps talking about number 15. I do see a world where it's Drew, Randy, Cody, Jacob. I also see a world where it's Drew, Cody, Jacob. In terms of the chamber, like, man.
I wouldn't be mad about the chamber.
Huh?
I wouldn't be mad about the participants. I think the participants in the chamber are going to be good, but the
But I'm
whole,
just
like you
thinking,
said,
like,
is foggy.
who should win the chamber though? Because if the streak continues, if Cody and or Jacob win, so let's just say Jacob wins the chamber,
Mhm.
I would probably book it that. See, that doesn't make sense because Drew probably doesn't want to defend his title against either of them.
No, he does not.
Because
Definitely not Cody.
if Cody and Jacob are in the chamber, then I would not be surprised if Drew tries to cost one or both of them, just like he did at the Rumble. He eliminated Cody. His presence allowed Roman to toss Jacob over the top rope. So technically, Drew screwed both of them.
Yep.
And if he finds a way to do that for Chamber, then pretty much they're locks for WrestleMania. It's just who actually wins the Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, they, even though they'd never do this, and this is like me really just trying to end the show on like some ridiculousness, wouldn't it be funny in the spirit of predictions that your boy Seth Rollins returns, wins the chamber, but actually says he wants to face Roman and Punk? I'm sure that's not how it works, but it would be funny that the last year it was, I guess, for Paul Heyman, and this year it's actually for a title. But anyway, I just had to say that out loud. It just made me feel good. Yeah. It's just a combination. Cody, Jacob. I mean, they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to think of years back. Don't you think some Raw superstars would also be involved?
Sometimes they do that, yeah. Like they'll throw them in there and just say, "Hey." They did that last year, didn't they?
So I gotta look back, because things become even foggier if, dare I say, Gunther's in the chamber.
That's true. Bianca. Well, the girls won. Bianca won the chamber, but she was on SmackDown. Yeah, she won the chamber. Was on SmackDown, but then won it and then Raw. Because remember, Charlotte won the Royal Rumble that she was at. So she faced Tiffany.
Charlotte was on SmackDown.
Charlotte was on SmackDown too, but I'm saying Bianca was not specifically on Raw. She was on SmackDown.
But wait, so then wait. But Bianca, I gotta oh, maybe this was after she won Chamber. Because I was thinking, like, how did she end up on Raw when she was like guest referee for Rhea and Io?
Because remember, and I'll make it quick, she was doing the thing with like her and Naomi were, I guess they were technically, were they still tag team champions at that time? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We got to look back, but I do think that that was the beginning of, remember, Jade attacked Naomi, and then they had the whole things. She was actually flip-flopping on Raw and SmackDown. She was doing two programs. She was doing that and also about the Jade and Naomi thing. So
got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
if Gunther is in the chamber, oh my gosh, I'm going to be. First of all, if Gunther wins the chamber, he should have the right to be like, I'm going to pick whatever legend I want to retire. He should have a yo. That's a great stipulation. That's a great stipulation. I'm going to pick the retirement match, and I, Flex Washington, am going to retire just for today this podcast. So I hope that you enjoyed the ride that the 4TL boss had put you on. And if you ain't down with that, we got 2 words for ya: retirement match.